Hello everyone, my name is Daryl. I work as a software developer, and in this video you'll see how I naturally work through a LeetCode challenge. This is a problem that I'm seeing for the first time, and I'll explain myself as I work through it. My solution won't likely be the best or most efficient solution. It'll just be the one that I kind of come up with first as I'm working through the problem. So let's go ahead and look at this one. This one is rated as easy. It's number 83 on LeetCode. Remove duplicates from sorted lists. So given the head of a sorted linked list, delete all duplicates such that each element appears only once. Return the linked list sorted as well. Okay, so like in this case, for the first example, you're just deleting the extra one. Technically, you could delete either one, and you're just going to return that. And then for this one, this becomes 1, 2, 3. Okay. Number of nodes in the list is in the range 0 to 300. Node.values between -100 and 100. List is guaranteed to be sorted in ascending order, so that's fantastic. I mean, this one seems pretty straightforward, especially compared to some of these other problems. And this actually seems similar to one that we did previously. I can't remember specifically which one, but I think we did something similar in an earlier question I did. So I'm going to go ahead and let's copy over the function, which is just going to be delete duplicates. They send in the list node, and it returns a list node. And once again, in the previous problems that we've had with these list nodes, I think it doesn't, they're going to be non-nullable, but we can just kind of leave that for now. So let's copy over the list node code here. We'll make that oops. Okay. And specifically, when it says we're returning a list node, I'm assuming that means we're returning the first list node, just like the earlier ones that we've done. So let's just do a simple, well, we need to have a var current list node. It's going to be equal to head while current list node dot next is not equal to null. We can force unwrap that. We can set a previous list node. So this is not, since this is not a doubly linked list, the list node that we're going to be on will not have a link to the previous linked list. So we can go ahead and track that manually. Because what I want to do, maybe it would be easier to do it not by doing, because I was thinking of doing it by, looking at the current one and comparing it to the previous, but since it's a singly linked list, maybe it would make more sense to look at the next one. Yeah, I think that should make sense. So what I'm planning on doing now is, so let's say we're here, we're going to look at the next value and see if it's the same as this one, and if it is, then we are going to set the next linked node from this one to this one. But then we want to make sure that we also repeat that same check after doing that, because it's always possible that this one could also be a 1. So we want to make sure that we do that. So if current list node dot next dot val is equal to current list node dot val, so we don't need the, that's fine. Well, we just proved here that it's not going to be null, so we can go ahead and check that. So if the values are equal, we are going to need an else here. But if the values are equal, well, in the else, all we're going to do is say current list node dot is equal to current list node dot next. But here, we're going to say current list node dot next is equal to current list node dot next. So we're gonna set our next to the next, because to this node this is next. So we want to set this node's next to the next. Okay, and then after we're done with that, then all we need to do is return head, because head should never be changed since we're only changing values in the future. So this should work perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and quickly try that out. Okay, we'll do a submit. Okay, so they can send a blank. If they send a blank, what are they expecting? I guess they would be expecting just the... Let me just make a quick little case where you can just say if head equals null, return null. Maybe they want null. If that's the case. Okay, so let's try submit. All right, we got success. So according to this, it's not a particularly good solution, which is interesting because I feel like my solution is a pretty straightforward solution. Because you could have also, another way you could have solved this problem would have been to like convert it to an array list or something like that, and then, or like you could add all the values to a set, and then of course a set only allows no duplicate values in it. A set only allows non-duplicate values, so you could create the set, and then you could create a set of list nodes from that set in ascending order. I figured that would have been a worse solution. I don't know if that would actually end up being faster or better than this, but I thought this was a pretty straightforward and it would have been a pretty decent solution. Apparently not, though. But let's go over the code real quick. So first, we just kind of handle this edge case where if they pass us a null, then we're going to return a null. Then you're going to set the current list node, the one that we're going to be, this is kind of like the one that we're going to be working with. You're going to set it to head at the start. And then as long as there is a next value to the current list node that we're working on, we're going to check, does the value of the next one equal the value of the current one, aka is it a duplicate? If it is, then we are going to set this list node that we're working on to skip the next one because it's a duplicate and go straight to the next one. Now this handles the case where maybe the next one after that has also the same value, because after this it would loop around and be at the same current list node and it would check it again. And then only if the value of the next one is not the same would it then set the current list node to the next one. And then after we go through all of that, we're just going to return head, which ends up being the first list node. And that's basically it. Hopefully that helped you guys out. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.